Have you ever caught yourself doing something simple, like bending over to pick up your glasses or remembering a friend's phone number by heart, and thought, I guess I've still got it? Maybe it's walking up the stairs without needing to stop halfway or making your morning coffee without double-checking the steps. If that sounds familiar, I want to tell you something important. These little things aren't so little. They're signs. Signs that you're still doing a whole lot better than you might give yourself credit for. As we enter our 70s and beyond, the world seems to quietly suggest that we should start slowing down. Take it easy, they say. You're getting older. And sure, there's nothing wrong with moving a bit more slowly or enjoying a quieter pace, but that doesn't mean we stop living fully. In fact, some of the most meaningful, fulfilling moments can happen after 70 if we pay attention to what our bodies and minds are still capable of. Today, I want to talk to you, not as a doctor or a fitness coach, but as someone who believes age should never be the end of possibility. If you're in your 70s or even 80s and you can still do certain everyday things, that's not just lucky, it's powerful. It's proof that you've been doing something right. And it means there's still plenty of life left to live, with joy, independence, and purpose. So, let's sit down together, like two friends over a cup of tea, and walk through some of the small but mighty things that matter more than we think. We're not going to count them out like a checklist. This isn't a test. Instead, let's explore what it really means to still be able to do these things, and how to keep doing them for as long as possible. Let's start with this. Can you still get out of bed each morning without needing help? It may sound like a basic thing, something you've done every day of your life without a second thought. But as we age, that one motion, shifting your body, swinging your legs around, pushing yourself up to a standing position, becomes more than just a routine. It's a symbol of independence. Being able to rise from bed on your own means your muscles are still strong enough, your joints are still flexible enough, and your balance is still steady enough. It means you're not relying on someone else to start your day. And more than that, it often sets the tone for the entire morning. Think about it. When you can move on your own, you're more likely to do the next thing. Maybe it's walking to the kitchen, stretching your back, or opening the curtains to let the sunlight in. That one act, getting out of bed without help, isn't just physical. It's emotional. It says, I'm still in charge of my life. If you can do that, take a moment to feel proud. And if it's getting tougher, don't give up. There are gentle exercises and habits that can help you keep that ability longer than you might think. Now, here's something else to consider. Can you still prepare a simple meal by yourself? I'm not talking about whipping up a gourmet dinner with 5 side dishes and a homemade pie, though if you can, more power to you. I mean the basics, making a sandwich, boiling an egg, pouring a bowl of cereal, and remembering where everything is in the kitchen. Being able to cook, even just a little, is more than keeping yourself fed. It's a sign of mental sharpness, hand-eye coordination, and even emotional well-being. When you cook, you're making choices. You're measuring, timing, remembering ingredients. These actions keep the brain engaged. And let's not forget the comfort in it, knowing you can make your favorite cup of tea, just the way you like it, or warm up a bowl of soup on a chilly day. That's not just a habit. That's control. That's comfort. That's dignity. And cooking doesn't have to be a chore. If your hands feel stiff, try using tools with larger grips. If your memory feels fuzzy, write down your favorite simple recipes and tape them to the fridge. The goal isn't to be perfect, it's to stay involved in your daily life in the ways that matter most. Maybe you're watching this and nodding along, thinking, yes, I still do those things. Maybe you're smiling a little, because you didn't realize how much they meant until now. That's the point. These are the quiet victories no one celebrates, but they're worth more than gold. Because they mean you're not just aging, you're aging well. And that leads us to something else worth noticing. Can you still walk outside, even just around the block, without needing to stop and rest too often? Walking is more than exercise at this age, it's freedom. It's the ability to go where you want, when you want, even if it's just to check the mail or wave hello to a neighbor. Being able to walk without pain or fear of falling is a huge indicator of your overall health. It tells us your heart is still strong, your legs still stable, your lungs still doing their job. And mentally, walking gives you a sense of movement, of progress. It can lift your mood, clear your head, and give your day a rhythm. If you can do that, even slowly, even with a cane, you're still in motion. And motion is life. But don't worry if your walks aren't what they used to be. What matters is that you keep going, keep trying. If a full block is too much, do half. If the sidewalk feels uneven, find a smooth path at the park or a mall. The point isn't distance, it's consistency. Every step is a statement, I'm still here. I'm still going. So here we are, you, me, and these beautiful signs that life is still rich, still full of potential. You may not have thought much about them before, but today, I hope you see them with fresh eyes. Getting out of bed, making your own meal, taking a walk, they aren't small at all. They're proof that your independence, your strength, and your spirit are very much alive. Now, let's keep going. Because there's more to explore, more to appreciate, and more to recognize about the power and possibilities of life after 70. Now, think back to the last time you felt truly connected, to someone, to something, to a moment. At this age, connection takes on a deeper meaning. It's not about being busy all the time or having a packed social calendar. It's about meaningful moments. Being able to maintain healthy relationships, whether that's with a partner, a family member, a neighbor, or even your pet, is a powerful sign of emotional well-being. If you're still able to share a laugh, offer advice, or simply sit quietly in someone's presence and feel at peace, that's no small feat. It means your emotional resilience is strong. And that emotional strength? It often spills over into your physical health too. Loneliness, after all, can take a toll. But being able to foster connection means you still have the capacity to care, to empathize, to engage, and that keeps the spirit young. Sometimes, it's as simple as picking up the phone and calling an old friend. Or walking down the street and chatting with the barista at your local coffee shop. These little acts of connection might seem small, but they build a powerful emotional buffer that helps you handle life's ups and downs with grace. And speaking of grace, there's something to be said for balance. Not just emotional, but literal, physical balance. Can you still stand on one leg while brushing your teeth? Or walk across the room without wobbling? Being able to balance well at this stage of life is a clear indicator that your nervous system and muscles are still in good communication with one another. Good balance protects you. It keeps you independent. It means fewer falls, fewer injuries, and more confidence doing the things you love, whether it's gardening, walking the dog, or even dancing to your favorite oldies in the kitchen. If you're still steady on your feet, you're doing better than many people realize. And yes, balance can be improved at any age. It's not just something you're stuck with. Tai Chi, gentle yoga, even just practicing standing on one foot while holding onto the counter, all of that helps. The key is that if you still can balance well now, you've got a solid foundation to keep building on. But here's the thing that often goes unnoticed, your ability to remember and tell a story. Have you noticed how some people, even at 70 or 80, can recall a story from decades ago in vivid detail, names, dates, smells, the sound of laughter in the background? That's not just nostalgia. That's a working memory and a healthy brain in action. If you're still able to recount your life's moments, pass on wisdom to your grandchildren, or remember the lyrics to that song you danced to on your wedding night, that's something to celebrate. It means your brain is still firing in the right ways. And the act of storytelling, it keeps your mind sharp. It connects you to others. It's one of the most human things we do. Even if you forget a name here and there, that's normal. But the ability to weave together thoughts, feelings, and details into a meaningful story? That's a true sign your cognitive function is staying strong. Keep sharing your stories. Don't let them stay trapped in your mind. You never know who might need to hear them. And while we're on the topic of using your mind, let's talk about learning. Yes, learning. Are you still curious? Do you find yourself wanting to figure out how something works? Maybe you've tried to use a new app, taken a stab at a crossword puzzle, or even just asked your grandson how to set up that new gadget he brought over. That curiosity, that spark, is a form of vitality. If you're still learning new things, no matter how small, you're actively keeping your brain flexible. And flexible minds stay healthier longer. It's not about mastering something. It's about being willing to try. The courage to explore something unfamiliar at 70 or 80 says so much about your spirit. It says you're not done yet. That you still believe there's more to discover. And isn't that a beautiful thing? So, whether it's learning how to video chat, experimenting with a new recipe, or reading a book about something you've never thought about before, the key is to stay open. That openness is what keeps you engaged, alive, and moving forward, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally too. And let's not forget about movement. Not just walking around the house or doing chores, but intentional movement, something that gets your heart rate up, even just a little. If you can still move your body with purpose, whether that's taking a daily walk, dancing in your living room, or doing stretches in the morning, you're keeping your muscles, heart, and lungs in working order. The human body is incredibly adaptable. Even if you haven't exercised in years, starting small now still makes a difference. But if you're already moving, even just a little every day, that's a sign of strength and persistence. It's a quiet victory, and you should honor it. You don't need to run marathons or lift heavy weights. Just a bit of movement, regularly done, shows that you haven't given in to stillness. That you still have goals, routines, and the will to keep going. And that will, is what makes the biggest difference. That will to keep going, to wake up each morning and greet the day with purpose, is perhaps the most underrated gift of all. Especially in your 70s or 80s, when the world sometimes tries to whisper that you've done enough, that it's time to slow down or sit still. But if you're still getting up with something in your heart, a routine, a project, a reason, you're doing something extraordinary. Maybe it's something simple. Watering the plants before the sun gets too hot. Feeding the birds and watching them flutter around your garden. Taking care of a pet that depends on you. Or maybe it's writing down your thoughts in a notebook. Checking in on a neighbor. Cooking a meal from scratch. These quiet actions may seem small, but they are proof that you still carry the torch of intention. That you're not just passing time, you're living it. Having purpose at this age doesn't mean grand ambitions. It's not about building a business or traveling the world, unless that's your dream. It's about having something, anything, that gives your day shape and your heart a little spark. And if you still have that, you've got something many people spend their whole lives searching for. Now, let's talk about something that may feel physical on the surface, but is deeply tied to your independence, the ability to care for yourself. If you're still able to dress yourself, bathe, prepare your meals, and manage your home, even with a few adjustments here and there, you're ahead of the curve. These daily tasks we often take for granted in our younger years become powerful indicators of vitality as we age. When you can still look after yourself, it means your mind, body, and coordination are working together in harmony. And it also shows a great deal of dignity and self-respect. You're showing up for yourself. You're honoring your routine. You're saying, I matter. I still deserve care. Even if you ask for help with heavier tasks, like reaching for something high or carrying groceries, don't see that as weakness. See it as wisdom. You know your limits, and you make smart choices. But as long as you're still actively participating in your own care, choosing what to eat, getting dressed in clothes that make you feel good, deciding how your day goes, you are living with agency. And that's no small thing. There's one more ability that deserves special attention. If you're still able to laugh, truly, freely laugh, then my friend, you are doing better than most. Laughter is healing. It tells us we still see the beauty, the absurdity, the joy in life. When you can find humor in everyday things, even when life feels heavy, you're showing a kind of emotional flexibility that keeps your heart young. Maybe it's a funny memory that pops up out of nowhere. Or a silly thing your grandchild says. Or a scene from your favorite old movie that still makes you chuckle no matter how many times you've seen it. If you're still laughing, it means your spirit hasn't grown bitter. You've been through life storms, and yet here you are, still smiling, still finding joy in the little things. That's not just optimism. That's resilience. It's soul strength. And when you combine all of this, your ability to move, connect, care, think, laugh, learn, balance, and live with purpose, you're painting a picture of someone who isn't just aging, but thriving. You're showing the world that growing older doesn't mean growing smaller. It means becoming more you. More grounded. More grateful. More aware of what really matters. So if you've reached your 70s or 80s and can still do these things, no matter how imperfectly, no matter how slowly, then take a moment and be proud. You've earned every wrinkle, every silver hair, every story etched into your skin and soul. And don't let anyone, including that little voice in your head, tell you that your best days are behind you. Because the truth is, some of the most meaningful days, the ones that make your heart swell, the ones that connect you deeply with others, the ones where you realize how far you've come, those days may still be ahead. So keep moving forward. Keep finding joy. Keep reaching out. You are still here, still capable, still deeply valuable. And that is something to celebrate every single day. When you take a step back and really think about it, being in your 70s or 80s and still able to do so many of these things, it's nothing short of remarkable. And yet, so often, people in this age group are made to feel like they're somehow less. As if the world only values youth, speed, and shiny new things. But the truth is, what you have, your experiences, your resilience, your insight, is irreplaceable. You've lived through decades of change, heartbreaks and triumphs, lessons and laughter. You've watched the world transform in ways that would make a younger person's head spin. And yet, here you are, not just surviving, but still showing up, still trying, still being. There's a quiet strength in that. A strength that doesn't shout or demand attention but simply keeps going. That gets up each day, even when the knees are stiff, even when sleep wasn't great, even when the mirror shows a face you don't quite recognize anymore. Still, you rise. Still, you move. Still, you love. And that's what this whole conversation is about. It's not about comparing yourself to someone else or checking off a list of abilities. It's about recognizing what you can still do and honoring it. It's about seeing every small action, every walk, every laugh, every meal cooked or phone call made as evidence that you are alive and that your life still has meaning. Maybe no one said it to you in a while, so you're doing amazing. Truly. And no, not because you're climbing mountains or running marathons, but because you're still you. Still learning. Still caring. Still part of the world. And if you find yourself feeling like you're not doing enough, or that time has somehow passed you by, just pause and look at all you've come through. Look at the way you've adapted. The way you've loved. The way you've kept going. There's no perfect way to age. There's no single path to follow. But if you're still waking up, still reaching for connection, still noticing beauty in a sunrise or joy in your grandchild's voice, then trust me, you're doing it right. So, what now? Now is the time to keep going with kindness toward yourself. To forgive your body when it moves slower, to be gentle with your heart when it aches, and to stay curious about the world around you. Whether that means reading something new, trying a new recipe, or just sitting quietly and noticing the wind in the trees, keep choosing life. And don't underestimate how inspiring you are to those around you. Your family, your friends, even strangers you meet, they notice. They see your strength. They learn from your patience. You may not even realize how many people you're encouraging just by being who you are. So let yourself feel proud. Let yourself smile a little more. And most of all, don't let the number on your birthday cake define what you can still become. If you've made it this far in life and can still do these 8 simple, powerful things, even a few of them, then you are living proof that age is not the end of vitality, but the deepening of it. And if you're watching this video right now, I want to invite you to share something in the comments. What is one thing you're still able to do that makes you feel alive? It could be anything: a walk, a laugh, a phone call, a project. Your answer might just give someone else the hope they need today. And if this video spoke to you in any way, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. We're building a community of people who believe in living fully at every age. Here's to you, to all that you've done, and to all that still lies ahead. Here's to living with dignity, with joy, and with quiet courage. Here's to living your best life at any age.